Two titans of hip-hop, Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Both of these artists have been exchanging diss tracks throughout 2024, and this feud has grown to encompass even more rappers, including Kanye West, Rick Ross, Future, The Weeknd, The Game, and J. Cole. Let's discuss an in-depth timeline of how this feud started, when all the diss tracks were released, and how this conflict resulted in multiple violent incidents. Drake and Kendrick's connection through the rap industry started on a positive note. In 2011, Drake featured Kendrick Lamar on his album Take Care, and in the following year, Kendrick featured Drake on his album Good Kid, Mad City. But the first signs of hostility between the two came in 2013, when Kendrick Lamar dissed Drake and other rappers on the song Control. Kendrick lists off a bunch of the top rappers of the time and states, "I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you all. I'm trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you all." To most rappers and most normal people, this was not a big deal. It was obvious Kendrick was saying he wants to be the best rapper in the world, better than all the other top rappers in hip-hop. This comment sums it up well. Kendrick didn't diss the rappers he mentioned, he dissed the ones he didn't. Moving past this nothing burger, both Drake and Kendrick seemed to be on good terms for about a decade, until October 6, 2023, when J. Cole and Drake released the song First Person Shooter. No disses were directed at any rapper during this song, but J. Cole stated, "Love when they argue the hardest MC, is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey, or me? We the big three, like we started a league." Basically, J. Cole was saying the biggest three rappers in the industry are himself, Kendrick, and Drake. This didn't seem like a big deal, but over 6 months later, Kendrick Lamar released a song Like That, where he responds to Drake and J. Cole, saying there is no big three, it's just Big Me. And after stating he's the best rapper out of all three of them, Kendrick then attacks Drake, saying, "Your best work is a light pack, Prince outlived Mike Jack." Kendrick is comparing his and Drake's legacy to Prince's and Michael Jackson's, highlighting how Prince outlived Michael Jackson, and he's saying that he is like Prince and Drake is like Michael Jackson. Kendrick also states, "For all your dogs get buried, that's a K with all these nines," which is attacking Drake's album For All the Dogs. In response to this, J. Cole released a diss track aimed at Kendrick titled 7-Minute Drill. Multiple attacks were levied at Kendrick Lamar, including these lyrics. "Your first stuff was classic, but your last stuff was tragic. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him." J. Cole also claimed the only reason Kendrick Lamar dissed him was because J. Cole is currently the best rapper in the game. However, J. Cole had a change of heart, and 1 week after the song was released, he removed it from all streaming services and apologized to Kendrick. J. Cole removed himself from the feud at the perfect time, because right after he retracted his diss track, the feud would start to get much more spiteful. Around the same time, Drake's diss track against Kendrick Lamar would leak and quickly spread around the internet. Titled Push-Ups, this song had many criticisms of Kendrick Lamar. Throughout the song, Drake says, "Drop and give me 50, which has two meanings. Firstly, it refers to the video of Kendrick Lamar doing prison push-ups, and secondly, it refers to Kendrick's previous record deal, where he would drop music and give 50% of his earnings to his former label, Top Dog Entertainment. Along with this, Drake says, "How you big steppin' with the size 7 men's on? I'm at the top of the mountain, so you tight now, and just to have this talk with you, I had to hike down. Metro, make some drums." 2 days after Drake's diss track leaked, Rick Ross released a diss track aimed at Drake, titled Champagne Moments. What a nice cover art. I won't go in depth on this track since it's not a part of the main feud, but here are some lyrics Rick Ross wrote about Drake. Since there are so many diss tracks in this timeline, I'm gonna skim past the less important ones and focus more on the official diss tracks between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. 4 days after Rick Ross's diss track, Drake released another diss track titled Tailor Made Freestyle. In this song, Drake used AI-generated vocals of Tupac, and pretends he's telling Kendrick to diss Drake, saying, "F this Canadian light-skinned guy, call him a female dog for me. talk about him liking younger women. I'm changing some words so YouTube doesn't demonetize this video. Along with this, Drake used the AI-generated voice of Snoop Dogg and teased Kendrick Lamar for not dropping a diss track, saying, "World is watching this chess game, but oh, you're out of moves." This song quickly ran into legal issues as it was argued a violation of Tupac's personal rights, and as a result of that, the song was taken down. 2 days later, on April 21st, Kanye West decided he wanted to get involved and released a remix of Kendrick Lamar's song, Like That. The lyrics of this song involved 99% of Kanye talking about himself and 1% dissing J. Cole and Drake. It's the most Kanye West diss track I've ever heard. And while all this was happening, Kendrick was behind the scenes, creating 3 different diss tracks aimed at Drake. And this is when the beef would turn personal. Now it was Kendrick's turn. The first track of the 3 released on April 30th, and it was titled Euphoria. Kendrick attacks Drake from multiple angles, saying, "I hate when rappers talk about guns, then somebody dies and they turn into nuns." This refers to Kendrick believing Drake is a hypocrite when it comes to guns, condemning them when it benefits him while simultaneously rapping about guns in a violent manner. He also states that Drake only does features with African American artists to feel more black, stating, "How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough?" And later in the song, Kendrick gets even more personal and brings Drake's son into the feud, expressing that he feels Drake is a poor father, saying, "I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know anything about that." And Kendrick wasn't done yet. 3 days later, Kendrick dropped 616 in LA and Meet the Grams. In 616 in LA, Kendrick claims there's people from Drake's OVO crew that are secretly working for him, saying, "Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me?" But the most predominant allegation comes from his other diss track, Meet the Grams. Kendrick's first verse is meant for Drake's son. Kendrick goes on to say his father is a bad man and an even worse father, even saying, "I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom." Kendrick's second verse is for Drake's parents, basically saying they raised a horrible person who has problems with gambling, alcohol, and treating women poorly, even going as far as stating that Drake hates women, and he wish he wasn't alive. During the second half of this verse, Kendrick throws a huge allegation at Drake, implying that he's trafficking women in his mansion in Toronto, saying, "I've been in the industry for 12 years, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. There's some weird stuff going on and some of these artists are here to police it. They be streamlining victims all inside of their home and calling them tender." He also compares Drake to Weinstein, saying him and Weinstein should get effed up in a cell for the rest of their life. In Kendrick's third verse, he claims that Drake has a secret daughter that he is hiding from the world, starting this verse with, "Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father is not active inside your world." Kendrick's final verse is talking directly to Drake and states that he has many problems in his life. "You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems, woman problems, you're a body shamer, you lied about your son, you lied about your daughter." This track levied huge claims against Drake, and these accusations gained attention from everybody on the internet. This rap feud was at an all-time high. On the same day that Kendrick released 616 in LA and Meet the Grams, Drake released his diss track, Family Matters. On this track, Drake disses all the rappers who talked down to him. This includes Rick Ross, A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, Future, Metro Boomin, and of course, Kendrick Lamar. Focusing on the lines aimed at Kendrick, Drake criticizes him from multiple angles, saying he only pretends to care about issues related to Black Lives Matter, suggesting one of Kendrick Lamar's kids might be the biological son of Dave Free, hinting that Dave slept with Kendrick Lamar's fiancée, and he also claims that Kendrick physically beat his fiancée. At this point, the feud was at its peak. It seemed like all hip-hop listeners around the world were tuned into Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. But it wasn't over yet. The very next day, Kendrick Lamar released another diss track titled Not Like Us. The cover art for this diss track features Drake's mansion in Toronto, along with the name of the road it is on. This is something I found interesting, as I imagine there was discussion of whether or not they should blur out the street Drake lives on, but they decided to keep it unblurred to the public. This decision could have possibly led to a violent altercation at Drake's house, which I will discuss shortly. Throughout this song, Kendrick doubles down on the allegations of Drake liking younger girls, saying certified lover boy, certified files, and the infamous line, trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Kendrick also accuses Drake of exploiting black artists for financial gain, saying, you run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. And as the hip-hop community was digesting this track, Drake was stirring up a new track of his own. He had a trick up his sleeve, and the moment had come to reveal it to the world. On May 5th, one day after Not Like Us was released, Drake released the song The Heart Part 6. The cover art of this song features a comment made by Kendrick's manager Dave Free under an Instagram post made by Kendrick's fiance. This ties into the previous allegations that Dave Free slept with her. Looking at the lyrics of this song, Drake claims that Kendrick Lamar was purposely fed false information. Earlier, in Kendrick's song 616 in LA, Kendrick mentioned that there's some people in Drake's OVO crew that are secretly working for him. But now Drake is claiming that he knew about this all along, and his crew purposely did this, stating, the ones you're getting your stories from, they're all clowns. We plotted for a week and we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving you a fake name or a destination, but you're so thirsty you're not concerned with investigation. Drake claims that the story of him having a secret daughter was fake and purposely fed to Kendrick Lamar to see if he would buy it. Drake continues to fire shots at Kendrick, saying, why isn't your fiance denying the abuse allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Kendrick? To Kendrick's fiance, you can hit me up if you need a favor, and when I say I hit you back, it's a lot safer. Drake also denies the allegations, saying if he was doing that, he would have been arrested. He's way too famous for this stuff, Kendrick suggested. At the time of this recording, this is all the diss tracks that have been exchanged throughout this beef, besides the game's Freeway Revenge, which is aimed towards Rick Ross. But that song isn't too relevant to this beef, but apparently Rick Ross likes getting peed on. A bit earlier in this video, I mentioned how Kendrick Lamar's track Not Like Us has a cover art of Drake's house, and it has the street name left unblurred for the public to see. Although the locations of Drake's mansion can be found online through some digging, some people suggested it wasn't a smart decision for Kendrick's team to put it in the cover art, especially in the peak of a heated feud they were having. This could lead to some unwanted visitors outside of Drake's house with harmful intentions. In fact, this did happen. 3 days after Not Like Us was released, Drake's house got shot up by unknown individuals in a car. The security guard who happened to be on duty that night got hit with multiple bullets. He got hit in the upper chest and was unconscious when police arrived to the scene. He was rushed to the hospital in life-threatening condition, and no further updates were given on the situation. The very next day, another person was apprehended for trying to break into Drake's mansion. Now remember, we don't know for certain if these events are linked to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake feud and this cover art, but it is a possibility. Despite who you believe won this feud, big allegations should be taken seriously. Accusing someone of beating their fiance, being a pedophile, raising a kid whose biological father is their manager, and trafficking women, all this stuff is very serious. It seems odd to throw these huge allegations around in a diss track, but not do anything beyond that. If both rappers truly cared about the immoral actions of the other, they would do more than just rap about it. If you don't do anything outside of making diss tracks, it just seems like you don't truly care about the issues at hand. You are just rapping to win the internet beef. So, for those of you who didn't enjoy this video, you can write a negative comment below. But if you believe this video is truly immoral and harmful for people to watch, maybe you'll do a little bit more than just writing some negative comments. Thank you for watching.